Welcome to Quarantine Christmas. Today, I'm talking about O Little Town of Bethlehem. So the tune was composed by Louis Redner and the lyrics were written by Philip Brooks. And this song was written for Brooks' Sunday school, which had 33 people when he started teaching it, and it increased up to over 1,000 people in his Sunday school as he was the teacher. And this song is inspired by his Christmas trip to Bethlehem in 1865. The peaceful part of this song is very notable. Compared to a lot of other Christmas carols, there are very few hallelujahs. There are not a lot of talk about the glory of Christ or the glory of angels. It focuses on the peacefulness of Christmas. And hymnary.org suggests that this was especially attractive to Americans during this time because it was the end of the Civil War and Lincoln's assassination had just happened. And so Americans were really looking for peace in the middle of turbulent times. So here's a cheat sheet of the different cool chords we're going to look at. First, we're going to look at the yellow, which has a weird resolution. It's actually preparing for a modulation. So we'll get to that in a minute. Green, blue, and purple are all variants of the same one. Green is neighbor tone, blue is secondary or leading tone, and purple is just a typical 7 diminished 6. We'll get to those in a second, but first let's look at the yellow chords. All right, so right here, to emphasize this big leap up to D, leap and deep, we expect this chord, this is a 5-7 chord, we expect it to go to B flat. Instead, what happens is we get an F7, which goes to a D major chord. And as far as Roman numeral analysis or functional harmony, going straight from a 5-7 to a D is very weird. So let me play you this so you can hear what it should sound like according to theory rules and then what it actually sounds like. One of the reasons it goes to D instead of B flat is so that it leads into G minor. So this acts as the dominant going into G minor. So now when you hear the chord in context, it sounds really cool and it helps it move from F to G minor. So it helps it move to a new chord, new key area. So another cool chord that happens in this piece that helps modulate it to other areas is the diminished 7th chord. So diminished 7th chords have all minor thirds. So that means there's 3 half steps in between each of the notes. And I've put the notes here as stars to show the diminished 7th chord. These chords will often resolve the following way. So the leading tone will step up. So this becomes the new key of G minor. And the 7th of the chord, so of the star will step down to D. So this will be a G minor chord. So this is what this usually sounds like. So here it is in context. This is that same chord. The G sharp steps up and the F steps down. This one is actually on G sharp instead of F sharp. I'll show you why in a second, but it's the same idea. It's just starting on a different note. So let me play that one for you. So it really emphasizes this A major chord here, and it makes it modulate for a very short time or tonicize to this A. This right here, the purple chord, is very similar because it's also helping to tonicize. So you can see the B natural steps up to that C, and that helps the C feel like it's arrived in a new chord for a moment. It doesn't last for long because we get back to F for the ending very quickly. But still, that B natural to C sounds really cool. All right, so here in O Little Town of Bethlehem, this is that chord that we were talking about before where the C sets down the E flat steps down, the F sharp steps up. You do have this B flat that's just hanging out, but it's just hanging out. It's hanging out so that you can hear the B flat in these chords. So the B flat's not super important. What is important is this F sharp stepping up and the E flat stepping down. So this is what that sounds like. So you can hear this tension here that resolves when you get to the end of the word Bethlehem. The green chord also has some tension to it, but it doesn't resolve to a new key. In fact, it just goes back to the exact same notes as before. A, G sharp A, C, B, C, and then the F just stays the same. So this sounds like it should be a 7 diminished 7 chord, just like the blue chords have been, but it's just hanging out. It's a neighbor tone chord. So it just goes right back. Thanks for watching Christmas Quarantine. Like this video and subscribe to my channel to see more Quarantine Christmas. Please let me know in the comments below what Christmas songs you would like me to analyze. I have lots of time during quarantine and I love analyzing music, so let me know. I know some of the audio quality is not the greatest when I'm using the PowerPoint and Zoom, so if you have any suggestions on how to improve that, I am very interested in how to fix some of that. So thanks, and thank you, Mom, for the Christmas tree behind me. See if I can point correctly. It's very similar to the type that Carol Sharp, my piano teacher, had on her piano every Christmas when I was growing up. So anyway, I will see you next time on Quarantine Christmas. Bye.